Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to start my weekend reading vlog slash FantasyAthon vlog. It is April 5th, Friday, April 5th, which means FantasyAthon starts today and it goes until April 15th. And my number one goal for FantasyAthon is Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom. They are chunky books, and I have them on Audible, so I'm hoping that that will help me fly through them. I have read Six of Crows before. I didn't love it, but I want to reread and refresh my memory and give it a second chance, and then read Crooked Kingdom for my hype train fantasy. This will also count towards my owls because it has sprayed edges, and I think there's like another thing that it fits in for. But currently, before I read any of that, I want to finish my current book, which I have been reading since the end of March, and that is The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. I'm on the last part, I believe. I'm on page 246, so I got about like 50, 60-ish pages left. But this is kind of like a slow read for me. It's taken me a very long time to read. It's very slow paced, but it has lots of twists and turns, and I'll explain those later on. But I just wanted to open up this vlog because it's Friday night and today was a rough day. That's probably why I look so rough. But this is what things look like currently. I have my book, I have my doggy, and I have my hot chocolate, and it's going great. So I took a little nap. I did read a little bit before I went to bed. I'm currently on page 268, so I didn't read as much as I wanted. So still reading that, working on curriculum over here. My husband went out to grab us calzones, and I'll read a little bit later. Good morning, party people. It is Saturday. It is 7/18. It is day 2 of FantasyAthon, and I'm finally starting my first fantasy book, which is Six of Crows. I read this before. I think I started it in January of 2016, and I didn't write my review until March of 2016. So it's been a few years, and I've never read Crooked Kingdom. So I did take a screenshot of what I thought before, and I guess I rated it 3.5 stars, and I just said it's broken up into like 4 parts. It's kind of like before, when you're meeting the characters and you're in Ketterdam, and then on the boat, on the way to the heist, at the heist, and after the heist. And I said that the heist was pretty fast-paced. There were lots of twists and turns, but Kaz always thought ahead, so it was great that he was a forward thinker. I think he was probably my favorite character. It was hard putting faces with names until I saw that poster that some people got, and I believe I first saw the poster on Tumblr, so that was a thing. And yeah, so 3.5 stars the first time. I'm rereading it to prepare myself for Crooked Kingdom, but last night I did manage to finish The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson, and this has 2 things that I dislike about thrillers. First, it has an animal scene that I think is pointless, that doesn't need to be there. And second, it has a slow plot. And for everything that happens in the story, you would not think it is a slow. Basically, these 2 people meet at a lounge at an airport before they get on their flight. The man confesses jokingly that he wishes he could kill his wife because he found her cheating. The female character says, yeah, like some people deserve to die. And then we kind of flip back and forth. So the book is told in 3 different parts, and each part is narrated from multiple points of view. So the beginning is told from Ted and Lily, and I thought the whole book was going to be told from Ted and Lily's perspective, but it's not. Other main characters get introduced, obviously, and we also get to see their perspectives. So I thought that was interesting, and at the end of part 1, I was just like, holy guacamole, I can't believe that. And then part 2, I mean, there's lots of twists and turns, and there's lots of like shock value to it, but even with all of that, you're just kind of like meandering through, you know, to see where you're going to end up. And I think that's also because there are so many twists and turns, you just don't even know where you're going to end up. So you just like suspend your disbelief, keep reading, and just go with the flow. So I rated this 4 stars because I loved the twists and turns. I really liked the characters and how everything ended up. And the last part was insane. So I rated it 4 stars, but it was a quite slow read. And I do have one other book by Peter Swanson. So I'll see in his next book, it's like his newest release, if I actually like his writing style, or if it was just like this book, or if I'm just going to skip it altogether. Because actually, even though I rated it a 4 stars, it was kind of meh, and I'll probably enjoy other thrillers more. So we'll see. I'm going to judge his writing by his next book and see what, like, weigh what I think about the two. But yeah, so I'm excited to move on to my actual first fantasy book of FantasyAthon with Six of Crows. I do have it on Audible, and I also have like some old notes that I like wrote down and kept inside the book, so that was interesting. Yeah, so I would like to do maybe this book today and tomorrow, because it's still quite chunky and it is Saturday, so there's things I want to do. But if I could finish this weekend and then jump into Crooked Kingdom, because I know it's going to take me a while once I start work, and it is the last week of work before spring break, so we will see. But I just wanted to update you guys. Good morning. Hi guys, I'm just checking in. I'm past the 50-page mark with Six of Crows. I haven't really been reading the physical book. I've just been listening to the audio while I'm doing laundry, folding laundry. I have a bunch of laundry over there to still do. I have a bunch of laundry on my bed behind me to fold, and I'm just listening to the audiobook. I just made some more granola because it's so good. If you want my granola recipe, let me know. Maybe I'll do a separate video about it, but it is so good. It's vegan. It tastes delicious, especially in like acai bowls. I'm sure it'd be great on yogurt. I just have it as cereal. It's so good. Just a snack, like eaten dry. So delicious. It has macadamia nuts, pecans, almonds, and coconut flakes and oats, of course, but it's so good, you guys. And it's not actually my recipe. I did adapt it from like another recipe, but it's delicious, and I'll probably be snacking on that at some point today, because I do want to make an acai bowl after my granola is finished. I think it's about almost halfway through the cooking process, and then I have to do it for like 20 more minutes. But I just wanted to update you. I have been listening to my audiobook as I took a bath, as I did laundry, and I'm about to sit down and listen to some more. Okay, so I just finished chapter 3. I'm going to be starting an Inej chapter, so I'm actually on page 59. Here with the Six of Crows update. I am currently on chapter 8, page 119, and I'm actually enjoying it a little bit more the second time around, because when I first went into the book the first time back in 2016, I thought it was a heist story. So I thought basically we'd get our crew together, they'd go on the heist. And we're already 100 pages in and we're not to the heist yet. So we're still getting our crew together and getting everybody on the same page. And I'm liking the intricacies of the characters that I'm seeing now the second time around. So yeah, I am enjoying it more the second time around. I'm listening to it on audio and reading along with the physical book. Sometimes I'm just listening as I'm doing chores around the house and so forth. But I just wanted to let you know my thoughts so far.
time is many hours. At least no one appears when he investigates her shame. He kept thinking of her in that cabin, whispering to the bronze girl, all concerned with kindness. She looked so weary. It was a mistake, she said. To have it branded as a slaver, tossed onto a Turkish ship, and thrown in jail. She claimed she tried to set things right, but even if that were true, what did it matter? Her kind had no honor. She'd proven that. Someone had brewed coffee, and saw it quickly from the top of the the thought of bringing it up as he crushed it. He didn't need to tend to it.
Made a lot more cookies than are here. I have 4 more in the oven. There were supposed to be 24 in all, but my husband ate about 10 cookies and I'm gonna go to Taco Bell and grab some dinner after I get this other batch out of the oven. Taco Bell, TV with my husband, and then probably read for the rest of the night. So I'll check in with you guys in the morning on my progress on 6 of Crows. Good morning. It is day 3 of FantasyAthon. It is Sunday, April 7th, and I'm still reading 6 of Crows, but I'm here with an update. I am currently on chapter 18, which is a Kaz chapter, and I think he's just like my favorite character in the story. He was last time, he still is. Yeah, so let me adjust myself. Okay, so I managed to read 43% yesterday, which is pretty amazing. I'm also seeing a smudge on my lens, which is not good. Okay, we'll see if that's better. And I have to say, I am actually enjoying it a little bit more now. I think that's for 2 reasons. I'm familiar with the characters. I'm familiar that the main storyline is not the heist, but it's like the build-up and meeting different characters and getting the team together and kind of like everything that has to happen to get the characters together on the way to the heist. And I'm getting they're actually on the ship now, or on the boat now, on the way to the heist. So then I know they're at the heist, and then I know there's a part after the heist. And I know that the heist part is very like action-packed and stuff, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm actually enjoying it more the second time around. Good morning, friends. It is Monday, which means it's day 4 of FantasyAthon, and last night I completed 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is a reread for me. I read it back in like January to the March 2016 time frame. The first time I read it physically, and then the second time I read it, just most recently, I was reading along in the physical book and listening to the audiobook as well. Sometimes I was abandoning the book and just listening to the audiobook, which is not something I can do often, but I felt since it was a reread that I could, and it worked out just fine. The first time I read this book, I rated it a 3 stars. I wrote some thoughts about it on Goodreads in my initial, review back in March of 2016, and it wasn't my favorite. And the reason why it wasn't my favorite is because of the writing. I didn't really like the whole Shadow and Bone trilogy, the original Grisha trilogy. I didn't really like that. And it just seems like the writing has like weird choices, and I don't know. I liked the characters of this, and I also didn't like how it took us so long to get to the heist when that's what it was hyped as, a heist story. And that is such a small chunk of the actual story. I can't even stress that enough. That's what disappointed me ultimately the most about it the first time around, is that I was thinking heist, we're gonna get our gang together, we're gonna go on a heist, it's gonna be like, you know, going under lasers, and I don't know, I just had like heist movies in my head. And even though I knew, like, obviously they weren't gonna be like going under lasers, I thought it was gonna be more heisty, and then that was gonna be the story. But it was really more of introducing the characters, how they relate to each other, getting the gang all together, the danger of the world that they live in, traveling to the heist. The heist is actually a pretty small portion in my opinion from what I remember, and then kind of after the heist. So on reread, I actually enjoyed it a lot more, and I rated it 4 stars, and it was close to a 5. Like, if this would have been the first time I read it, I probably would have rated it a 5 stars, but I think I just understood more the second time around, and I knew the pacing more, but a lot more stood out to me this time. Like certain scenes and certain passages, and I can't really, like, I don't want to go like too much into it because it could spoil it if you are one of the 1 people in the entire world that's watching this video that has not read this book yet, because a lot of people love this book. So I managed to finish 6 of Crows, and I'm diving into Crooked Kingdom. I actually started it last night, but I only got to like the 2nd or the 3rd page. 6 of Crows on reread, 4 out of 5 stars. I can definitely see the hype now, but it took me 2 times to get there. So I am glad that I reread it. I'm ready to go into book number 2. And then of course I started book number 2 and I was like, who the heck is this? Like, why are we reading from this person's perspective? So if you didn't know, it kind of flips back and forth. There's like a whole, so this one goes between like several different characters. I want to say like 5. Yeah, about 5 different characters. Kaz, Inej, Jasper, Nina, and Mateus. So like 5 different characters, and then at the end there's one other character that kind of peeks in, but it still felt a little long. Like some things could have been cut and saved for, I think it could have been broken up into 3 books is basically what I'm saying, because this book was over 400 pages, over 450 pages. I think it was like 462 pages or something. So if this was 300 and Crooked Kingdom was 300, you probably would have had about 300 pages left for a second book. So it could have been a trilogy. But I mean, it's kind of nice that it is a duology, but they're just long books to read. And on that note, I'm going to wrap up this video and go ahead and post it. I was trying to think, like, for an 11-day readathon, it's not really conducive for me to just film an 11-day vlog. So what I'm gonna do is every book that I wrap up and finish reading off of my FantasyAthon TBR, I'm just gonna do a separate reading vlog for that video. So this is gonna be the 6 of Crows video. So you can hear all of my thoughts along the way and stuff like that for each book that I'm reading. So let me know what you think about that idea down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're so happy that I bumped it up to a 4 stars and that I am enjoying it even more. And in my next video, it should be Crooked Kingdom, me talking about Crooked Kingdom. So keep your fingers crossed. Check in on me on Goodreads, Twitter, Instagram, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.